into the future. Can I change this? I can. Hi. Just a moment. I have a whole setup and it's not working, so I'm gonna do this old school setup and it's not working, so I'm gonna do this old school setup. Clearly it is very this is my fix, my last second fix to keep the stream going today, because I do want to go live today whether I do it res or not. So because of connection issues, we're doing it res. So I'm just gonna give some time for anybody to follow, or not follow, but anybody to come in and get a little more set up. So yeah, I have my computer in front of me with the streaming software, and sometimes it's just, I can't explain it. I don't know why. It's just the internet is wanting to internet and doesn't want to let my streaming software work properly. It's just, it's a low connection issue, and I tried changing as many settings as I could with my knowledge and the power of Google. But none of it worked. It's still just a low connection, so. How do I get off of this screen? There, we'll do that. So I'm just gonna have to do it the way that I did it in the past, where I just streamed with my phone and then played music from my laptop. It's not as fun as having a streaming platform, because then you can hear the music better. I can have different screens, but you know, when there's connection issues, there's nothing I can do about them, so. This is why I want different screens, so you don't have to see my head bobbing around as I'm fixing stuff and waiting for people to come in. I had some people in the last stream, and maybe they won't come back now because they're like, this is janky, we're out. Still don't know if you can even hear the music. It might be a little too low. Okay, so I think I'm going to maybe get started. Again, sorry for the issues. It's so annoying and very disappointing. I spent my entire evening yesterday testing and getting all of this set up for, you know, smooth stream. And the first test did go this poorly. But then every test after that, I did like maybe 3 or 4 more tests last night. They all had great connection. I was like, okay, I think this is resolved. It's cool, good to go. Go to turn on stream and it's not. Hi, Orekwe. Okay, I did turn it up a little bit. I don't want to have it overshadowing my voice. I get yelled at that a lot on this channel. People like to comment on my older videos where I you know, it's kind of funny getting bad feedback on videos that are like 7 years old. Do you want me to call you Mo or Orekwe? Orekwe Indigenous. But yeah, it's kind of funny getting bad feedback on really old videos because it's like, you know, those things have been addressed. So I don't know. Sometimes I think maybe I should leave a pinned comment, but pinned comments don't always work either. So yeah, one of the more frequent things that people give bad feedback for me on is they don't like the music in my videos. Like they don't like how loud it is. They say that they can't hear me, but when I'm listening to it, I was like, I can hear myself perfectly. I'll turn it down a little bit, but I like to have the music in my videos. I feel like if my videos didn't have the music in them, then they would be really boring. Awesome. Also, what's up, Mamita? Yeah, so hopefully I can get my streaming software to work. I think that it's way cooler than just this on my phone. And if you see me keep looking down, it's because I'm looking at chat. I'm looking at you. But alright, let's get beading, man. I might stay on. I know I scheduled it from noon to 2 my time. Might stay on longer. I don't know. We'll see. I have 2 beading projects right now. One is due next week, and then the other was ordered from me a year ago without a due date. And if you give me a, oh, if you can just finish it whenever, it doesn't get finished. So I'm also using some streams as a time to get that stuff finished. And you know, I don't have to work this week, so that's why we're doing some early streams, and I hope you enjoy. Now, the project that we're working on today is a logo. It was ordered from me by our tribal president. So the company that this logo is for, I just want to get out of the way that I'm not like associated with them. They didn't order this from me. This is a gift to, I don't know, somebody who's with them. So I'm not associated with this company. I don't have any opinions on this company. So if you notice this logo, or if you know what this logo is, or anybody watching who is from this company and they're like, hey, why is our logo on your stream? Just know this is a gift that is being ordered from me. So I'm gonna flip the camera. And here we are. I have a beaded set, a jingle dress, and a whole bunch of other sewing to do. Damn. Also a medallion that's been taking longer than expected, but today is just getting ready for a round dance. Oh, I love that! I hope you have so much fun at the round dance. We just had one a little while ago. That's a lot to do. I've definitely scaled back how much I've been doing. I can't remember the last time I've made something for myself. I guess if I really think about it, it was probably my Halloween costume. I did get started on this already. I got this orange bit done. Thankfully, it's a rather simple piece. So today we're going to be doing this green. Oh, you know what? I did want to start with a row of black first. And I don't have my black beads in front of me, so let me go grab those real quick. They're right in the other room. If you have Instagram, Mo, when you finish that stuff, tag me in it. I want to see. I was supposed to make my partner a regalia this winter, but it never happened. We're just so dang busy. Y'all already know I be doing that too, that 2 needle method. Okay, I think that's enough beads for now. I do have a question for anybody who's here now or in the future. When you bead, sorry if you can hear my cat, she's digging into a bag of water. When you bead, do you use an embroidery hoop like what I'm using? I'm asking because I had a friend giggle at me for this and I didn't understand and I was like, wait, what? What's the problem? And they're like, you're using one of those things. I'm like, an embroidery hoop? To do embroidery with beads? I don't understand the issue. And also, how are you gonna ask how I do good beadwork and then make fun of my process? Oh, probably with like the thinner materials that are thinner than Pellon. I feel like it's a little wasteful to use an embroidery hoop, especially because I don't have one that was a better size for this project. The only hoop that I had that was smaller than this one was too small. So, you know, that results in like all of this Pellon kind of going to waste. And it was actually all I had left. I have to get more. But I feel like I need it. It like helps me hold the project and like keep everything nice and taut. Get them beads flat. So the project that I have for after this one is really simple. The next one is really detailed. And that's honestly like part of the reason that it's taken me so long to get to it. Hi, Arlene. I am also beading a regalia as I listen and watch. I find this to be relaxing as I bead. Nina Wapoda Tanka, thank you very much. Hopefully I said that right. Watching from the Lake Traverse Reservation. Well, hi. Welcome in. Let's keep each other on task. Because I know I need it. It's gotten to a point, Mo, where I like... I have no choice. Like, but to, I don't know, shop online or something. Our Joanne Fabrics closed years ago now. So if I wanted to go to another one, I would have to drive to Petoskey, which is like an hour and a half, 2 hours from me. So it's like a special trip. And as we all know, with like the Joanne Fabrics drama, they're closing too. I'm trying to decide. I feel like there's a lot of consistency with these black beads, and I'm not going to be able to find like thinner ones. Yeah, these look a lot the same. Oh, maybe not. I'll try and find some thinner ones, and maybe I can fit 3 thinner ones here instead of 2 regular ones. Although this is a thinner one. Maybe 2 thick ones instead of 3 thinner ones. That's why it plays in my head when I'm looking at the ends of lines or tight spaces. Okay, no, I don't want music with words. Thank you. No, I think it needs to be 3 thinner ones. I know, I'm so lost without Joann's. It's kind of sad. We have another craft store in my area too now. It just opened up a few years ago. But I personally just, and I don't fault anybody from anybody watching, but me personally, I refuse to shop at Hobby Lobby. I won't. I've gone in there once in the few years that it's been open, and it was because I was desperate. I've used one about that size, but I want one with a stand for when I do my own mugs. Oh, for real. I would love that. I tack my project down to fabric instead of using so much Pellon. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. I do have a quilting hoop, or it's not a hoop, it's like a square. It's, you can't see. Why am I moving my hands as if they're in frame? It's a large square anyways, probably like the size of my lap, but I still have to hold it. I would love something with a stand. Question about if we use an embroidery hoop. I try, but I don't know if my project is too small to fit in the one I got, so I'm out there looking in thrift stores for hoops. These wooden ones, excuse me, I didn't mean for my voice to crack. These, like the wooden one I'm using was like $1, but that was at Joann's. It might still be cheap at, like Walmart or something. Although I think Walmart changed their shit up. The last time I went in there, because I don't know if you guys know what Meijer is. It's kind of a Midwestern Walmart or Target. I mostly go there, and when I do go to Walmart, the few times that I do, I've noticed that their craft section has been really scaled down. I actually didn't know about Hobby Lobby being against Indigenous rights. This is the first, I didn't know. This is the first time I've heard of that one. I just knew about, women's rights and gay rights. As a woman and a gay, that's pretty important to me. Yeah, and the fabric at Walmart, Mo, is like 2 yards max on a bolt. To be fair, I never really went to Walmart for fabric, but that was mostly because it was really hard to get help to get it. So I was just like, wow, I don't want to deal with all that. Yeah, they're like Trump people. It's the best way I can describe Hobby Lobby. They're like the kind of Christians that are like hateful Christians. The women's rights stuff, it has a lot to do with the birth control. They were the store that sued the Obama administration when they were passing Obamacare. One of the things in Obamacare was health insurance companies had to cover birth control for women, and at the same time, they created rules for businesses to offer health care or like health insurance to their employees. And Hobby Lobby sued the administration, saying that it was against their religion to provide that for their female employees, that they didn't, because of the birth control. Oh, really? Also, not to mention, like, this is definitely not as important as the other things, but the whole not selling Halloween stuff is just bonkers to me. Yeah, the one time that I went in there, and I mean, I never even stepped foot in there. I was like, I won't go in. I went, I always go Christmas shopping on Black Friday, and it doesn't really have anything to do with the sales. It's just more of, my mom likes to go out, so I go out with my mom, and I get all of my Christmas shopping done in one morning. So I don't have to think about what I need to get for the rest of the season, right? And like, we go Christmas shopping on Black Friday, and she's like, I'm gonna go in the Hobby Lobby, and I'm like, you have fun with that. I'm literally not gonna go in there with you. So I went into a different store. But yeah, the one time that I went in there was because the travel president, same person, she's commissioned me for so many medallions now. Which, side note, thank you to her. But she needed a medallion done in a day. But she wanted it specifically. Basically what we came up with was it had to be on some velvet. And the only thing I could do was grab some at Hobby Lobby. What am I doing? I'm not doing this right. I think I'm getting distracted by all the yapping. That's okay though, I love to yap. I started following the black line instead of the outline of this letter. I did have somebody at my work suggest to me a place to get fabric in my hometown, and it's like a mom and pop's place basically. And I'm really curious about it because I have heard of it. I have seen the sign, but I was like, I can't believe, like, thank you for one. I can't believe they're open, because when I seen their sign all these years, I thought that it was just like a closed down shop that was never rented out again. But even then, I think that's just fabric and not necessarily like all of the other little craft things too. I didn't know anything like that about Hobby Lobby. My Walmart had a good selection of fabric and craft section. The program unworkable for spends lots of money. Oh, really? It just, sometimes, I don't know. Just because I live in such a small town area that we already have low availability of things. But I feel like Joann's is like, it was just one of a kind, no matter where you were. I don't know what the hell happened. I feel like it was just greed. Like weird back business, like upper management kind of stuff. By the way, when I go around tight corners like this, I always tack down every bead. Otherwise, I tack down every 2 beads. They stole cuneiform tablets and some other artifacts from Iraq. Oh my god. Yeah, Hobby Lobby is wild, man. And I don't blame people for not knowing a lot about it, just because some of the things that they've done has just been kind of spread out. You know, like the whole birth control thing, that was years ago. That was like 10 years ago. And I don't know. It's kind of interesting sometimes when people will bring it up. Like we might be yapping about where we get our things or whatever, and somebody brings up Hobby Lobby, and I'm like, oh, I don't go there, and they just kind of look at me like, why? What do you mean? And I hate to be that person that's like, well, actually. It can get awkward to be a Debbie Downer sometimes, so I just tend to kind of shut my mouth about it sometimes. So now I have to get more Pell on. People really love to bead logos. I've beaded so many logos. I have been thinking about maybe beating up a couple like ready to go medallions to give to our tribal president. Make a few more bucks, but also like, here you go. I know you like to ask for last minute stuff sometimes. And maybe sometimes you don't even ask because you're like, I can't do that to her this time. So here's some that you can keep in stock. Man, I want to go to a round dance. I've actually never been commissioned to do a grad cap. I'm a little surprised. I do work at a college though. And I know we're having some grad cap classes, and I cannot wait to capture that. And I do have the time to make stuff. It's hard to find the will, is what it is. Like, oh, I have some time to get things done right now. Do I want to get things done? Or do I want to, like, play my video games or something? Usually the video games win. Beauty and the Beads, you know, it's weird that Joanne, like, it didn't do well, but everybody loves it and relies on it. And it's like, how was that not enough? We all went there frequently. How did they not make enough money? There's actually a lot of YouTube videos online about it, about Joanne's closing, and people kind of explaining what happened. It's a little complicated for me, I think. You get distracted by beaded hoops because I feel like I finished something instead of working on my big projects. Yeah, all that businessy stuff kind of confuses me a little. So I don't know how to, in my own words, explain exactly what happened with Joann's. I feel like part of it was like their decisions too. Even like store to store. I remember somebody from one of the native communities, I don't remember who it was, so I don't remember if they were Bay Mills or if they were Sioux tribe, but they like approached the Joann's that was here in the Sioux, and they were like, you know, I'm willing to bet a huge chunk of your customers are our Native American population. Like, why don't you do anything with us? And it's like they didn't even think of that. Like, we're the ones in this area anyways that are probably keeping you open. In a nutshell, they got bought out by some guys who didn't want to keep the stores and liquidated because it made, yeah, I've heard of that tactic. That's what I thought it was too. I heard of that on Pretty Woman. The guy that Richard Gere plays, that's what he did for work. You buy businesses that are willing to sell a bit to you, and then you break it up and sell it. And on to the next. I'm actually quite new to beading, and I didn't start until last year, learning from you and YouTube and you. But the deal about Joann's, I've heard of the store, I never thought to go in until I started beading. I used that store for a lot. I didn't really grab many beads from there, I will say. Fabrics though, fabrics, ribbons, trims, yarn for when I felt like crocheting, painting supplies. I always love the decorations that they have put out, so I'd hit up their Halloween decorations after Halloween ended. My Christmas setup is also Halloween themed, so I would always, because they would have like all of the ornaments for each holiday, so I'd grab a Halloween ornament for my Christmas tree every year. Now I'm gonna have to look somewhere else for ornaments. Etsy is a cute place to get some like adorable fabrics though. My issue with that though is like any bulk orders I might have. That's not feasible. Just because the fabrics that you can find on Etsy are not going to necessarily be very cheap or affordable. I feel like I can't hear myself. Turn it down a little bit. Yeah, like ribbon skirts, shirts, vests, the like. Not to mention, it's much nicer to be able to touch and feel fabrics. And you can't do that online. It's created problems for me. I had to make an order last year, and I would not have chosen that fabric if I was able to touch and feel it. $14 medallions? Oh my god! Wow. That's quite... Is it like, is it an order or is it a gift? Still drinking coffee here. I totally get you though. I spend a lot of time on Twitch. I love video games. I love watching people play them. I love playing them. And I will often sit there watching people play instead of actually turning on my console and playing myself. I forgot to explain that I wasn't in my beading room either. Despite it being spring, it's very much winter in my area, so I have to keep my heater on. And the heater will kick on, and it's right next to my desk. And it would just be too loud. You'd hear a constant hum. Can only have lives down there in the summer, I fear. A big reason that it's been like a year since I've gone live last, and like I've had other things to do that, like beading projects that could have been done on live, but I just didn't have the setup. I switched jobs and I had my setup on the laptop from my old job, and then when I got the new one, they are more strict about installing things and like hardware on their stuff. So I was able to get my streaming software onto my current work laptop, but I can't update the stuff. And I feel like my personal laptop is just too like old and resi to be able to run it. That might be my issue. So yeah, I finally got everything set up and I'm like, okay, we can start doing this again. And it doesn't want to work properly. But also I didn't have a craft room until the fall. I was like, okay, when I get my craft room, then I can start working on my live setup. Forgetting that the heater is very loud. Such is life. It's always something. Alright, now this part is going to be interesting because my hand is not big enough. I need to move this needle closer. I don't know, see, like a part like this where my hand can't it's not big enough to hold the loom and the string in the direction I need it. It's like, I don't know if the hoop is helping or hindering. This needle is still not close enough. Oh, that's so cool though. I would shit my pants if I got an order for 14 medallions. And I'd be like, you need to give me like a year. Just make sure you set aside some money for taxes if they tax you on that. I discovered that this year. In prior years, I haven't owed any. But I think I just made a little more last year, and they're like, oh, you owe us tax money now. And I'm like, wait, I didn't think to set anything aside because I didn't have to before. And now suddenly I owe you money. IRS, what the hell? I guess if the tribe is in Canada, I don't know how that works. The song is giving very 80s. Okay, I need to take a few beads off. Also, don't clock the different lengths of nails I have. I've been trying to be a long nail girly without like putting nail polish and stuff on, but then I keep breaking my nails. And I can't get my nails done. I'm apparently allergic. Who knew? I got my nails done for the first time actually in my whole life having any kind of like acrylic nail on. Let's see if I can zoom in just a little more. And my face broke out in a rash. I couldn't figure out what was up with that. I guess if you have an allergy to nail stuff, the like reaction can show up in your face. Organic, what's up? Sorry I couldn't hang out and stream very long yesterday. I was really busy trying to figure out like the setup for these streams, and it took me all night to like test everything and get it working, and then I go to stream today and none of it worked, and I had to stream in a getaway today. I'm not gonna lie, when I read your message, my brain first read it as I'm getting bad content again. I'm like, you're welcome. You know I'm good for that. Two months for 14 medallions. Damn. For a long time, we didn't have to claim the stuff that we made, but I think the tribe changed its processes for how they pay for things, and they have to tax people, or they have to like pay people in a like tax sort of way. So I had to fill out a W-9 to be able to take commission from them. So it's because of that. Me reading Organic's comment as I'm getting bad content again reminded me about August of last year. I don't know like what country or if it's the world or what that recognizes August as like an Indigenous History Month. I feel like the observation months and days are starting to confuse me, especially when it comes to observing Indigenous months or days, because it seems like a lot are popping up and I don't know where they're from. So like in America, I know there's Native American Heritage Month in November. And then there's the day as well, which is on Columbus Day, Indigenous Peoples Day. But then like Canada has their own day, and I believe that's in September. And yeah, so there's a lot of like months and days that are starting to confuse me basically. So YouTube recognizes Indigenous Month in August, and they approached me and some other creators to celebrate that, and yeah, they would feature us on their main YouTube channel, and we were like on a list of Indigenous creators that you could follow, and I was the smallest one on there. There were some really big creators on there that some of you would recognize for sure. I don't know their names though, because I don't really follow a lot of like native spaces online very much anymore. I'm mostly online for video games and brain rot. So, but yeah, and with that, they even like in the email, right? Once I was like, yeah, for sure, I'd love to be involved, include me. They're like, okay, and they sent like this pre-written document that they were sending everybody, and it had to do with what to expect when YouTube features you like this. One of the things to expect was a lot of like negative interactions from people. They're like, you know, because our account is so big, like it reaches anybody, and that can sort of put you in a space to receive abuse. And boy, did that happen. I got a lot of random comments on different videos from people that were like, what the hell is this? Some people were like, this person's native, what? And some people were just hella weird. So the reason I'm even thinking about this is because there's this one person, and this comment, it's just the one that lives with me for some reason. But they were like, I think at the time I had like 10,000 subscribers. And they were like, 10,000 subscribers and only 200 views a video? They bought their followers. And I I just thought that was so funny because I'm like, I know the truth. I didn't buy followers. Why would I buy followers? And why would I only buy 10,000 of them? If I wanted more followers, wouldn't I buy more than that? And why wouldn't I buy views then? If I could buy followers, why wouldn't I buy views? Because followers doesn't really do much to progress the channel. The only thing that puts the channel in front of more people is like the analytics of your videos. When your videos get more views, then YouTube thinks, okay, people like to see this, so we're gonna show more people it. And yeah, so I just responded to them. I was like, yeah, I didn't buy followers, man. My videos just suck. That's why there's only 200 views. And they didn't say anything back. Everybody buys you organic. You just cost a little more because you're organic. You're not the cheap fruit. You're the good shit. Oops, I'm sorry. I'm trying not to swear. I forgot to turn off my potty mouth. I did not lie about BioShock. And it's supposed to be stressful. The stressful games are the most relaxing. I'm a little sad that I missed it, but I wanted to play games too. Which one are you playing again? Are you playing the first one? What do you mean you fell out of your chair? How did you fall out of your chair? The string keeps tangling. I think I might have cut too long of a string. And I don't want to go downstairs to get my wax. Are you ever gonna get a cam for your streams? Tacking down every bead right now because it's all a corner, or it's like all a curve. Not a corner, a curve. The nurse looking things. I don't remember a nurse looking thing. Are they, is it a nurse or is it just a person? A splicer? Wait, what's an in real life stream? And I didn't know you were thinking about moving. Is that why you haven't jumped on the Euro trip? Not you turning it off because you got stuck. Oh my. I am so close to finishing my game challenge. I need one more weapon, that's it. I just have to fight a bunch of bosses to get there. Are you just thinking a new apartment, or are you gonna be like changing up the town? Oh, an end of an era. It almost feels wrong that we're going to Europe and you're not. Dang it, come on. It's tangling and knotting up on me. It's already 1:30, wow. It felt so good to sleep in today. Yeah, all of my plane trips cost me a little more than I had quoted before, and I think it was just the week or so that I waited to buy the tickets passed. I hate how airplane tickets change like that at the drop of a freaking hat. Because I could have paid like $1,000 for my plane tickets, but then it jumped up to about $1,200. But I will say the flying situation for the tickets that I did get was a lot better than what I had before. I would have had to like lay over in Portugal and fly with some unknown airlines and stuff. But now it's all with the same airline, and no layovers in other countries. Although it wouldn't have been super terrible to stop in Portugal, even though I can't leave the airport. Could still say I've been there. And then I'm gonna make Miracle stay in hostels with me, so they're like $50 a person per night. Like, we're not staying in bougie hotels. It's my turn to plan the trip, and we're going cheap, baby. Cheap, cheap, cheap. An authorized travel or a electronic travel authorization. I haven't gotten it yet. I just got my mugshot, my passport, and like looked up some stuff. Oh my goodness. The wax that I have actually came in like a little kit. Like I never really buy beeswax. I think I just acquire it and then I use it for a very long time until it's like dried up and not even really giving off any wax anymore. Couple more beads and I can end this string. Oh my god, I just realized I'm sitting like a shrimp. I need to stop that. I left my wax all the way down in the basement and I cannot be bothered to go get it. I'd rather deal with the tangly strings. You know, organic, I love that for you. Also good to know you can hear the music. Considering I have to stream old school by just you hearing the music by being picked up by the mic instead of like OBS desktop audio. Also, what is your lunch? I'm hungry. I haven't eaten yet today. All I've had is coffee, which I'm going to take a sip of right now. I had to go to the post office today, so I splurged on some sugary coffee. And whenever I have that, I don't like to eat breakfast because I feel like all the sugar in the coffee is like food enough. Oh my gosh, I wonder if that's part of my problem. I don't think it is my problem. I do have like the most updated OBS. It's just Streamlabs is worse. That's what I just keep telling myself. Like we're like stuck with OBS. There's nothing else I can use. I've used Streamlabs before and it's terrible. Particularly when you have any kind of programs that are using your phone, it might be better if you're only using like a PC for streaming stuff, but I need to use my phone so that I can have this overhead camera. I am considering maybe buying a webcam for an overhead camera instead of my phone. Like maybe that would use less data on my computer and the stream would be able to like run more smoothly. Sorry if you're watching and listening and don't want to hear me dorking out about this stuff. You know what I've been thinking about doing for the channel is like visiting more powwows for powwow vlogs. People really like those. They get maybe not more views than crafting tutorials, but they get quite a bit, and I just kind of wonder if I'm thinking about maybe like contacting powwow committees for some powwows that I'm thinking about going to and being like, hey, can you like, if I advertise your powwow on my channel, can you like give me some travel money or something, you know? Like powwow influencer marketing. I just wonder if they'll go for it or if they'll be like, yeah, no. I'm stalling because I'm not sure exactly where I want to start. Yeah, the wax becomes so dry and like there's a bunch of lines carved into it because of your string driving against it, and then the carved lines get close to each other enough that the chunk just comes right off. The wax that I have right now, it's super cute. It's really little, like this big and like this wide. It's teeny and it's the shape of a bear, which is really cute, like honey bear. It don't look like a bear no more. So I'm like, I want to go down this way with the green, but I want to be able to stop right against the black. In order to do that, I need to lay the black down, but I'm like, okay, well, where do I start the black? So I thought about starting it like right here, but I'm like, well, then it would have to rest against the green. Unless I start it over here. No. Well, no. Maybe I can kind of gauge where the black would start. So this was the green. The black fits right. Okay, I think I know what I can do. It is, yeah. I love that you recognize the logo, organic. I did do a spiel in the beginning of the live. I'm not associated with this company. This was commissioned from me from our tribal president, who is going to be gifting this to somebody from the company. Okay, Beauty and the Beads, have fun. good job and good luck on your huge medallion order. And that's really cool also. Thank you for doing that for your students. I got friends who do that on TikTok. They sometimes get discount on hotel stays, sometimes free rooms. I don't think I'm like anywhere to be requesting appearance fees. I just want some like, hey, I want to come to your powwow and I have, you know, this place where I can show this many people. My videos are viewed by this many people and this could be good for your powwow. But I'm of an income where I struggle making it that way. Can you help? I have a question, maybe far from the subject, but for women leggings, can we make them using Pellon too? Do you have tutorial or blog for leggings? I want to make one. The only issue is I don't have a pair of leggings that I need to make, and beading leggings is obviously a very huge project to undertake. But you know, maybe I could like show how they are made without actually making a pair, if that makes sense. Be like, this is pretend beadwork. Pretend this is beadwork. But yes, I use Pellon, much thicker than what you use for beading. I can't remember the number of it. And I actually use like a double fusible. So what that means is there's glue on both sides so that the glue would stick to the beadwork you'd lay on top of it. And then the glue on the other side would stick to, I like to use muslin or like a cotton or natural fiber fabric to rest against the skin. Now my next struggle is getting to filming it and editing it. I did film a whole video of how to make a side drop plume. But I haven't put it together and edited it yet because I don't like it. I don't like the quality of it, of my presentation. So I've been on the fence of like, what can I do to fix this video, or should I just scrap it and start all over? So I'm trying. It's just my job is pretty demanding. Oh, okay. I see what you mean, Mo. I can see some influencers, though, saying like, hey, I'm huge, and if you want me to be there, that's going to cost a little. And then my next question to myself is like, all right, which powwows should I try? Oh my goodness. I'm right next to my patio door and the sun is shining. There's also a box next to it and my cat is crawling into the box. So I don't know if you can hear that, but if you do, that's what's happening. Yeah, it's spicy. It's for sure spicy. Because the box has things in it. I think Noodles would go in a box that was empty, but he wouldn't go into one that has things in it. This one has things in it, and she's like, I know there's space in here for me somewhere. I'll have to make the space if not. Maybe I should just let me show you guys real quick. I'm gonna take you for a ride. Okay. She's in there. Spicy. Can I just like lift up the box with my foot? That's my cat for you. Ridiculous. My next question about the powwow thing to myself is like, okay, so I would have to choose powwows that have enough money to delegate to something like this. But I almost feel like the ones that do have enough money are like, we don't need your help. Thanks though. Have to strategize, find the balance. $72 Pelon. I think what I'm using right now for this is 70. And I still have some of that fusible Pelon left. Not enough for leggings, but enough to at least show it on camera. And yeah, for leggings, I would bead onto, I like to use canvas, like a couple layers of canvas. For my personal leggings, I used felt and that wasn't a good idea. Organic, now I keep picturing you for each of the songs, throwing your seasoning to the beat. And I'm gonna skip this though. I feel self-conscious that somebody in the stream doesn't like hardstyle techno, so. It's an acquired taste. Sorry I turned off the fast beat. Ouchie, I just poked myself. Okay, this is, let's Definitely wrapped. I need to figure this out. All right. Sheesh. I hate when that happens. Yeah, I'll definitely have to make myself some brunch after this. I'm ready to eat soon. There's like this benefit tonight that I am going to be going to with some friends. It's like a bunch of bands that are going to be playing. I'm gonna get all gothed up and go out. Spicy, leave him alone. Yeah, my usual. Are you calling me basic? Just kidding. I just like a reason to like put on a little extra makeup and wear my clothes that are not work appropriate, because I pretty much just go home and go to work. Again with the hard style techno. Wonder if I can drag Miracle to a Dutch rave. There's a knot. This is a great example for why you use wax too. If anybody's wondering, why do I have to take this extra step? This is why. Now the next question after that is like, do I want to go? The obvious answer is yes, but on that day I'm going to be like, I'm too tired. I'm going to have to sleep in the airport. I think I leave at like 1 in the afternoon or something, and I don't land in the Netherlands until 9 a.m. their time. I know this is just a logo order, but I feel like it's because of the colors, I feel like this is a fun design to bead. And it's also simple too, so it's like not a challenge. Also a little inspiring too, considering I have to make logos often. I've lost count of how many logos I've had to design. You'd be surprised how much thought goes into logos. Or maybe you wouldn't, I don't know. Let's see. So this runs into where I want to stop a little. I might have to look into different like widths of the beads. So like either 2 thicker ones or 3 thinner ones. But the 2 of them on here look kind of thinner though. So I'm going to start by looking for 2 of the thicker beads. Let's see. I see a big boy. Yeah, this one's nice and thick. I feel like it's a little short, but if I just bring the green over just a little bit, I'd rather do that than... I'd rather the green be over this way than the black be over this way, if that makes sense. Oh, so is it like organic skin on for sure? So the background, is it like different colors that are complicating it, or is it the way that you're filling in the background? Like for my regalia on my beaded cape, I have a wolf on a moon. And so the moon is just white in the background, but instead of just beading in a circle until it was filled in, I beaded in like swirly directions to kind of give it more like texture and make it more interesting. And it's something that you can't even notice until you're close up and looking at it. This is a little too far over. Like right here. I feel like it definitely elevated, but like, yeah, it made it take longer. All one color, but all these little circles that, yeah. Water droplets on a still body of water. That's really cool though. It takes longer, but like, I don't know, if they're willing, you could maybe even ask just for a little bit more money too, by putting in the extra work or design of it. The thing that I tell myself to justify touches like that is like, well, this is why they're paying me and not somebody else. Because this is like my art, my design, my technique. Otherwise, they could have asked anybody to do it. I could even say that with this project as well. It's a fairly simple project that basically anybody could do, but I think the technique that I'm using for it is what makes it special. Somebody might have, or another person might have filled in the crown a different way. So I chose to fill in the crown with the beads going in this direction so that it looks, I'm not sure how to describe this in words. It looks more like a crown. I think a lot of people might have chosen to make an outline and then just slowly fill it in a box form, but I didn't like that. I wanted to give it that shape by using the direction of the beads. It's for my brother-in-law for his college grad gift, Christmas and 2 birthdays. Oh, okay. That's really cool. Also kind of funny. But it's just like, this is your indefinite gift for the next however long. No, I actually haven't tried working with that before. I always forget how to even say that. Dentalium. I want to though. So I have a stupid little story about Dentalium. It's not really even that interesting, but anyways, way back in 2020, I go to this powwow. I live really close to Canada, right? I hop the border and I go to the powwow over in Canada. And if you're in the area, it's the Algoma powwow. And I found this vendor that had a bunch of the Dentalium, and I wanted to buy some, but I didn't have enough cash on me for that. And so I thought, like, I'll come back tomorrow with some cash and then I'll buy the Dentalium then. But then tomorrow came, and for whatever reason, it was a long time ago, I don't really remember, I didn't end up going back to the powwow. I couldn't go. And so I was a little like sour about not grabbing that Dentalium because I wanted it. And so like that was a weekend, right? Powwows are on a weekend. That Monday, that was when basically the United States announced like, ayo, COVID is here. We're locking everything down. Building up hype for the gifts. I love that. So yeah, COVID got in the way of me getting my Dentalium, or finally like getting hands on some. It's just not really sold very much around here. I was surprised to see it at the powwow, and it was a whole bag of it too, and I was like, oh man, I want this. Just because I feel like Dentalium is almost more of a Western thing than than it is in my area. I wonder if I should. make a green go this way instead of that last bead being in this direction. Can it fit? It can. I think I want the beads to go in a certain direction right there. So I'm going to take this bead off. I don't know how to say it. And people keep telling me and I forget. Dentalium, is that how it is? Dentalium. It's so hard to find unless you know someone here in Wisconsin. I have some friends in Washington and British Columbia that we trade and gift each other. Yeah, so I'm not crazy, right? It's just not really available around here. And to find it in Sault Ste. Marie, Canada, Ontario, I mean. But then I couldn't get it because I didn't have enough Canadian cash on me. And then COVID closed everything up. So my dreams were crushed. I love that you call them bead cousins. Especially because when you were talking about Journey and you're like, my sister, I was like, wait, are you actually her sister? And you're like, no. She's a different kind of, she's more of a sis than a sister. Spirit bead sisters. I think one of the going back to that powwow influencing conversation real quick, I think the powwow that I was looking at last night that reminded me, because I've had this idea for a little while and it just came back into my mind recently. And I think it was because I seen a powwow poster for a powwow in Wisconsin actually. That I was like, oh, I wonder if I can if they can help me get there, show off their powwow. I did try 2 new powwows last year that I haven't been to. And they were pretty cool, although one I did have kind of a bad experience with. I just feel like they could have done something better. And it has to do with how they handled my injury that I experienced there. Definitely not something where I'm like, this powwow, don't ever go there. It's just kind of like constructive criticism I'd want to give them. 100 Canadian for a sandwich bag, halfway full, is expensive. It was not that much. What I found, oh man, I don't remember how much it was. It was a bag probably this wide and this tall, and it was $25. Which is, I mean, and this is why, this memory lives on with me to this day. So I'm like, man, what an opportunity just lost. No. Like I said, I live on the border of Ontario, Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. And I've been to like a few of their powwows in the immediate area. Other than that, I've only been to one other Canadian powwow when I was a teenager. And I don't remember what province it was in. It might have been in Ontario, but it might have been in Manitoba. It was in a little town called Fort Frances. I was there on a trip with this organization that was in Garden River, Ontario, for like Native youth, where they worked on a couple things with Native youth, like building confidence and just trying to keep Native youth like steered in the right direction. And one of the things that they would do is let some youth come with them to other visits, to other reses. And so I got invited to go on a trip with them. We flew out of Sault, Canada into Thunder Bay, and then from Thunder Bay to a little town, Fort Frances. That's all I remember. I don't remember the tribe. I just remember Fort Frances. But the event didn't end up happening because like the morning that we got there, one of their community members had passed away, so they canceled the event. And you know, because of our flights, we still had like a day there, and there was a powwow also happening in the area, so we went to the powwow. And I was a teenager. I had no money. There's powwows that I won't go back to. Even tried going back after some time to a few. Just still not the best experience for myself. Some are definitely more accommodating, accepting than others, for real. Especially like as a two-spirit person, who has like a lot of two-spirit friends. In that sense, there's a lot of navigating which powwows are safe for that and which ones are not. And this had to do with I had sprained my ankle. I've also broken my ankle before, so when it happened, I thought I was experiencing another broken ankle. But so what happened was, I was dancing and they were having another competition for my category. And as somebody who's asthmatic, it really, really sucks when people joke about, well, let's make them dance 3 songs. And it's like, I'm struggling as it is. What do you mean? So what they did in this particular competition was they gave us 10 seconds between songs. It wasn't 3 songs, it was 2, but they gave us 10 seconds break. And they kind of made a joke about it. And at the time I was like, this is not good, but I'm going to try and get through it. And they really did. The MC counted it down, 10, 9, 8, you know. And I just think that that's so messed up, because it's dangerous, and I proved it kind of right because I was so exhausted that I lost my footing and my ankle had rolled and I sprained my ankle. It ended up being a sprain that was severe enough that I could not walk on it. I had to go to the hospital and they had to give me like a splint, and I couldn't walk on my ankle. I had to use crutches for like a week after that. And my next issue was when it happened, like my ankle rolled, I immediately knew something was wrong, and I walked off the arena, more like hobbled. And I had some of my friends that were there come up to me like, "Hey, are you okay?" They could clearly tell something was wrong, but none of the powwow people did anything about it. None of them approached me. My partner had to go find medical help for me. The MC didn't do anything. It was a contest song, so none of the judges did anything. No committee person did anything. Like, nobody came up to me and got me any kind of help. So that's my story with this powwow. I don't want to say which powwow it is right now, but thankfully they did have people on staff. They had like a medical team on staff. But how am I supposed to get that medical team? Yeah, and I just, that's not accessible, and it's not fair. And I feel like people have been regarding powwow contests as like the skill. It's not even totally about skill, it's about ability as well. And if your body isn't this young, spry, in the 20s, healthy, then you're not welcome to have any kind of standing in our competition. It's sad. Like, they could open it up and make it more accessible if they split up songs. And, you know, if an injury does happen, take care of your dancers. Don't just ignore them. The only reason I got any kind of help was because my partner was watching, and she came down and was like, "Hey, what just happened? What do you need?" I've gone to powwows alone before. What if I was alone? I'm just gonna sit there until some random stranger decides to help me? I mean, also, I think that injuries are just less likely to happen at a traditional powwow because there's no weird pressure to put your body through only having a 10-second break between songs, you know? Having the MC count down 10 seconds before you have to try and push yourself to dance again. And the powwows being like this have had me lately seriously considering only dancing at traditional powwows. I don't think, and even then I'm considering just not dancing anymore at all. And it's not like out of a contempt, it's out of caring for my body, because I'm not sure my body can do it anymore. It's kind of sad, TBH, but yeah, that's where I am right now. I'm not sure I will put on my regalia at all this summer. I'm getting to that point where I am the people that people mean when they're like, dance for the people who can't. Apparently I'm turning into the people who can't. Same, hard same. Contest just makes it weird. It makes it pretty weird sometimes. Sometimes I also feel like this sense of like negativity from the other people in my category too. Like they're giving me competitor eyes or something. And I'm like, sis, I'm not your enemy. But I don't know if that's actually what they're thinking or if I'm just being paranoid. I think sometimes it's just a mix of both. But I know for certain, like my powwow, my tribe's powwow, the area is so like remote and just out of the way that if they stopped making it contest, I don't think it would be as well attended. So I get why, like the impact that contest has on powwows, specifically on attendance. It does feel real, and I think part of what makes me question if it is real is because I know that I'm not feeling that way towards them. I'm never looking at the other girls in my category in that way. So I just feel like, well, I know I have a resting bitch face. So maybe I'm being paranoid and they're just existing as well. But I don't know, I think that I need to trust my intuition a little more sometimes. And there do be times where my intuition is telling me that they're not big fans of me at the moment. At all the contest powwows I go to, we do the like high five thing at the end. The like good game, basically. And the ones that I feel like are being kind of judgy and negative, they do that in the most minimal way possible. They don't even look you in the eyes. They barely give you the high five. And they don't say miigwech or anything. I've been told I would be picked at contests if I had better regalia. I believe it. It also had me wanting to keep my hair long for a while too, just because not having long hair would cost me points. But then I said to hell with that. Life is too short to not experiment and have fun with my hair if I want to. So my hair's short now. And you know what? It's just some of the best dancers that I've seen have a regalia that would not pass for a contest regalia. Some of them girls that just have this shawl that was made 20 years ago and they're out there in like gym shorts. Meanwhile, their footwork is like to the gods. They just have a ponytail, no braids. Boys too, yeah. Hi, James. Nobody wants to feel drained at the end of a powwow either. It makes me wonder how many of these contest powwows are being planned by dancers. Even better yet, by like average dancers and not dancers that are traveling competitors that always win. You know, like that's why representation in planning matters. That's why, you know, people want like Native American people in office and stuff, because if nobody is there with that knowledge, that experience, then you don't know what you don't know. The other people don't know to make something more inclusive or accepting or whatever else. So if some of these powwows aren't being planned by average dancers who are not super in powwow circles, how are they gonna know to, like, how to make powwows less draining for the average person? So last year, my tribe's powwow, I don't know, like, what led them to do this. If it was a conscious decision or if it's just kind of how it happened. But they actually did something that I have been silently advocating for years now, which is not typically when you have contest songs, you have two. You have a straight song and then you have some sort of variant. You know, for Fancy Shawl, it might be a crow hop or a double beat. after they do a straight song. And most powwows, especially contest ones, will have both songs right in a row with a short break, like a 30-second, 1-minute break in between songs. And I struggle with that hardcore. I have bad exercise asthma. And oftentimes that second song, I can hardly make it through. And so what my tribe's powwow ended up doing last year was they split them up. And it's something that I've been wanting powwows to do for a long time. Just to not have your 2 songs back to back. You do your straight song, you move on to the next category, and then you have your second song later. And that just made it so much more possible for me. And I ended up placing, it was last place, but I ended up placing. And I definitely think it was because I had enough life in my body left for the second song. Plus, my favorite songs to dance to are double beat. As a fancy shawl dancer, I love the double beat, but it's always second song, and I never have enough energy or life left in me to even do it. I just kind of end up slightly bopping around out there, to be honest. Apologize that I haven't been visible. Been one storm right after another here. Oh, man. I mean, that's okay, James. This is the first live on, so you haven't really been missing anything here from me, anyways. I only tend 2 a year if I'm not working, and then, oh, okay. Yeah, usually it's about 3 or 4 for me, but last year I think I went to like 6. I don't think there's a way around it. I've been to some pretty big contests, and even when they split groups up and do some intertribals, it still kind of feels like that. There's a lot of waiting. Yeah, the waiting sucks. And I do a lot of waiting too, because I have the health issues. At contest powwows, I will only dance my contest songs. I don't ever go out for intertribals because I have to conserve everything for my contests. I forget exactly how they ended up doing it, the splitting up the songs. But I will say, it actually felt pretty good. I didn't feel like I was really waiting any longer, and they got everything done. Yeah, if they have, if they don't have like too many dancers to do that. Fancy shawl and fancy feather do seem to be less danced in than some other categories. Jingle is really popular right now. I think Baraga powwow has to have like 2 or 3 songs for jingle, because there's so many competitors and jingle dancers. They won't be able to see. The arena would be too full. So they have to split it up. It also is a powwow themed around woodland though. Like, they don't have any fancy shawl prizes there. I'm sure that's probably a part of it. Yeah. I danced jingle before, and I still will. If I'm asked to do it, I will. And the reason that I switched from fancy shawl was because I dreamt I was dancing fancy shawl. And so I took that as a sign that that's what I need to do. I almost feel like it's because I'm such a like to the beat of my own drum person that was like my message to be like, hey, you should switch to something that's less danced in. Have you started on your daughter's outfit yet, Mighty Might? I've made my daughters, all three of my kids have regalias, but none of them like to dance. My son has emceed a few powwows. He's Crane Clan, so they like to talk. 2 push-ups, old style fancy, and then you're good. Old style fancy shawl is so fun though. I love it. That might be another reason why I received the dream too, because I really do have more fun as a fancy shaller. And maybe that's another reason why contest powwows feel more draining too, is just they feel less fun when you're out there. And I've told myself, I've explicitly told myself as I'm standing out there preparing for the song, you know, they're waiting for everybody to go out to the arena and you're standing there ready to go. And I just say to myself, like, this isn't important. You don't care about winning. Just be you and just have fun. At the end of the day, that's what you're here to do. But at a traditional powwow, I don't have to say that to myself. And even if I say it to myself, it doesn't always work. She never danced before, it was only me because of my childhood. She had a dream that inspired her too, so that's awesome. Oh, cool. And you're trying to get the outfit going. You're working on a fan, different style, and you have someone in Canada working on the dress. That's so exciting, and I'm happy she wants to dance. My kids don't want to dance. Like, you have a regalia maker as a mother, and you don't want to dance. I could make you some bomb-ass regalia. I know, my mom would always lecture me that I need to condition my body for dancing. But I'm like, I have health problems though. That's the problem, is my health problems. And those problems are not very addressable by like working out and conditioning. And I was doing it last year, or was it the year before? I don't remember. But because of injuries, I had to stop going to the gym. I even had to do like physical therapy. I have a condition called osteopenia. It's not osteoporosis, but it's damn close. And I also have, I forget how to say it, but it's basically, I have like no cartilage in one of my knees left. And it's on the verge of arthritis, which means like my kneecap, like bone rubbing on bone, And so one of the ways that you can treat osteopenia is by doing what's called like weight bearing exercising. So that would be like running and jumping. But something that makes the knee cartilage condition worse is weight bearing exercising. So I'm like kind of stuck. The thing that helps the other hinders the other. Kids don't know how good they got it. They really don't. They don't. I could make them some really good beadwork, some really nice outfits, some creative stuff. They don't want it. So besides the weak bones and the lack of cartilage in my knee, I also have bad exercise asthma. It's not normal asthma. Like people with regular asthma, they can get an asthma attack triggered by, you know, basically anything. I think the triggers are specific to the person. But my asthma is only triggered by like exercise or any kind of activity like that. So I'm fine until I start, you know, like dancing. And I've had asthma attacks from dancing in the past. It's even worse with, I think cold air triggers mine more than hot air, but hot air can trigger an asthma attack if I'm exercising, and that's powwow season is hot. Okay, Mighty Might, thanks for hanging out. Let's see, how much longer do I have? Oh, we've been on for 2 hours. I think I might stay on just a little bit longer and then head off. It's 2:36 right now. I think I'm gonna head off at 3. So that is in like 25 minutes. Let's see, where do I want to start? I think I'll start over here. I think I want to go out more in the outer edge. I feel like there's only going to be one row here, and so the outer edge should, whatever goes right here, it's going to kind of emphasize either the inside or the outside, and I'd rather have the outside emphasized. So it goes on in a beater's brain for sure. And I'm gonna do some more testing today too, to try and get my stream software working. And if I can't get it to work, then I'm just gonna have to keep streaming the res way. So I'm sorry, like you can't see me and the music is kind of not optimal. Okay, drums and bass. Fun fact, I am a big EDM head. I love lots of different kinds of music. I like metal, I like goth, I like emo, I like nu metal, I like pop, I like some rap. I think most of the rap that I enjoy is the like 90s rap. Although I haven't been really listening to it a lot in the past couple years. I also like electronic blues, surf, modern surf rock. Like there's a lot of different music that I really enjoy. Oh, shoegaze and indie. But my biggest playlist and like what I really enjoy going to see in concerts is like EDM music. I even bought a DJ controller to learn how to DJ, but I haven't found time to practice. I don't know if it's in the cards for me. Clearly, I'm a girl with many hobbies. Hey, Sarah. You know, I know 2 people named Sarah Teeple. Are you one of the people? Are you from Bay Mills? And you're in Portland? You, okay, yeah. I didn't know you were in Portland. Wow. I love that. That's so fun. Yeah, you share some of your beadwork on Instagram sometimes. I've only been in Washington once. I went to a res near Seattle. I don't remember which one it was. I didn't always pay attention to that kind of thing when I was in high school. That's why I'm like, oh, I've been to these reses, but I don't remember which res it was. And there's quite a few in Seattle, I believe. We didn't stay in like the greater city area. We flew into it and then we went to a community outside of Seattle. Another one of those like Native youth things that I participated in. I keep losing this string. So going around that tight corner, I was doing every bead, and I think right here I can start doing every 2 beads again. Oh no, no round dance. I'm sorry. That's a bummer. What happened? Did you and your crew change your plans, or is it like weather related? Not there being a powwow and a round dance on the same day. I was about to say, you know, I would just throw on a ribbon skirt and go, but then that just reminded me of last year in the powwows where I wasn't dancing in. Like normally I would just wear a ribbon skirt or something if I wasn't dancing. But last year, I was tired of that. I don't know why. I was just tired of it. And I was like, I'm just gonna be that powwow goer that wears regular old clothes this year. And I did. This year I might wear skirts though. My partner's mom made a really nice skirt for me for Christmas. And every time I wear it, I get so many compliments. I should really post a picture on the gram with it next time I wear it. I just wore it for a round dance last month. I don't know why I didn't take a picture with it. Actually, I did take a picture that day, but I took a picture of me with a large professional camera. I totally get that, and that's precisely why I'm choosing to go live. One, because I like going live, and some people like it too. But two, it keeps me grounded and working on this stuff. Otherwise, I might be. I've really been into watching Twin Peaks, so I think Twin Peaks is like how I got this done, the orange part. But even then, like I might set it down and kind of mess around on my phone for a while, or just say to hell with it and do something else. I don't stay on track with beading as much as I did, say, in like 2019 and 2020. And part of that is because what I was beading for myself at that time, or what I was beading at that time, was stuff for myself. And now I don't really get to make things for myself anymore. So that might be part of why I struggle, like, making the time for the things that I need to make. I need to share pictures of things that I've made in the past year as well. I've made quite a lot. I think last year was when I was making an elder's regalia. I believe that's what I was sharing on live. But this is like, let's see, I did one in May. That was that one. This is like the 4th or 5th medallion in the past year, I think. One of the medallions I made I didn't share online, and I really wanted to, but I didn't share it because I didn't want people to get mad at me. I think I'm a little traumatized from Twitter. But I was approached about a year ago to make a medallion, and they were very specific. They were like, I want, you know, the Great Lakes and maybe some florals on it. But I cannot tell you who it is for. And I was like, oh, okay. Which was also kind of a funny comment, just because she never tells me who these are for. Like, she said that this is for, you know, somebody from DraftKings. I'm like, cool. But she didn't share the name. So yeah, when she was like, I can't tell you who it's for, I was like, oh, well, you've never really told me before, but okay. I will get this medallion going for you. I didn't find out who the medallion was for until the day before it was to be gifted, and it was for Jill Biden. She came to our res. I was also asked to sing without knowing exactly who it was for. And yeah, so I didn't really want to share it online because I didn't want people to be pissed about it. I have such mixed feelings about it, you know. When we sang for the visit, it was like the president had set up people to dance, basically like an exhibition for her. And so she got some people to dance, a couple guys on a drum, and then she asked me and a couple women to sing on the rattle. And so me and the ladies all wore keffiyehs when we sang. So we tried to do something in the name of justice, you know. I used to pump out so many things when I was doing vendor spots and making things I wanted to. Making things other people want is rewarding in a different way. But yeah, it makes producing things slow. And it's like, I love that she loves my work so much that she seeks me out continuously. And other people have sought me out. But it doesn't leave a lot of time to create what I really want to create. And I think that just causes me to be a little slower on getting it done. It's almost like a form of reluctance or something. Now, if there's something that I'm passionate about, like I made my Halloween costume in like a day. And that was because I was passionate about it. If I was commissioned to make that, it might have taken me a few days. I don't like this song. It sounds like a commercial. There we go. Not entangling on me. I feel like this medallion could have been a little bit bigger, but I chose to make it this small because of when it was due. Like, I really only have this week to work on it. Is this the same song? Again, going around this really curved bend, tacking down every bead. I also kind of like push on them a little to make sure that they are nice and nested right next to the bead that's around them. Some of the music we've heard today has been pretty good for being like royalty-free music. I think the way the platform I use works is like independent artists maybe sell it to this platform, like they sell the rights or something. It's not made with record labels. Sometimes the music on this website is so good that I'm like, man, I wish this was on Spotify. Yeah, I feel like that definitely looks better to have the outline or the outside outline first. Now my next question is, do I continue to follow that theme? Because I feel like I'm gonna have to do sideways beads. And it might be better to do them sideways right here instead of in the middle. Yeah, I'm gonna keep doing the outside. Like starting from the outside going in instead of alternating. just thinking about round dances. I've come to learn that my body can't really handle round dances anymore either. That's how bad the knee issue is. The last round dance I went to was actually, I was on the committee for it. I had to work it. So it was more work than play for me. So with that being said, I didn't really have as much opportunity to go out and dance. But I did take a moment to like actually go out there for a dance, and just that one dance messed up my knee. Just such a bummer, bro. Yeah, visiting is definitely my favorite part of the round dance. For sure. I feel like part of that is because round dances are they're in the winter, right? So it's like, I'm trying to get this to tighten. The heck? So it's like I haven't seen the people in a while either. It's like round dances are a time to catch up. I'm gonna have to burn that off. I don't know why it won't tighten. Before though, I was that person that was out like almost every song. I just broke my needle. That hasn't happened to me in a long time. I feel bad. I should know more songs than I do. And there's like a youth group or a youth drum event that happens like every week, and it's right downstairs from my office. All I have to do is take an elevator to go, and I keep forgetting about it. And they don't have any women to teach the little girls. Does that fit? I think it does. the heck did I break a needle? Alright, let's see. I think I need to find as thin of a bead as possible. I think this one might be the winner. Okay. So I think maybe I can fit like 2 right here and then a sideways one. Might be the best way to fill this little space up. So that fits. That's good. What brand do you use? I use the John James. Always have. I actually don't even know any other brands. I was taught to use John James and I just never thought of anything else. See, I want some like thick ones, I think. Methinks. Yeah. You know, I've only ever really done like our style of beading, like medallions and powwow headwear and earrings. I do think about sometimes maybe it would be cool to like do some beading on a dress. Try my hand at white people beading. The playlist has finally ended. I think is a sign. I've already gone 10 minutes over when I said I would get off. Tulips. I memean, if those cost more than John James, then they must be pretty expensive. There's this weird loop. It's like the thread got snagged or something. I'm just gonna cut it and then burn it like it's 2 ends. Come on. Like won't stay up away from the Pelon. There we go. $20 for 3? Yeah. Wow. I would definitely be hella careful with my needles compared to how I am with them now. Well, I think I made some good progress today. I didn't expect to get that much done, to be honest. I think it's just the simplicity And also I'm using size 11 beads, which really fill up the size of this project. Like for scale, maybe I can just hold my hand to it. I can't remember if this is 4 inches wide or if it's 4.5, but it's kind of a, not super small medallion, but it's on the smaller end. So I definitely think this will end up being finished before my streaming schedule ends for this little series. Might actually get to show you guys the fish I've been working on, which might even be a little more interesting to watch because of how detailed it is. I really have to, oh, it's gonna take forever to get that fish done. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. I'll be here each day for the next week. I'm super excited to get some stuff done, catch up and visit, keep you guys on track too. Gotta get your projects done, you know. But all right, thanks for hanging out again, and I'll see you later. Bama Pequabman.